Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Ball Games. Here we have Andrew on Shadow versus Steve on Boros Initiative. Shadow, just one of those great decks for getting into Legacy in terms of budget, but man, are there so many decision points. May actually be a little bit more than some people would bargain for. Every single fetch land is a decision. Have some general plans mapped out. Life early, get your Death Shadows down as quickly as possible. But in order to really master the deck, I mean, I don't think I've ever played a single tournament, maybe not even a single match, where I felt like I made absolutely every decision perfect with this deck. There's always points of contention where it's like, I wonder if that was actually optimal. And we've got an Orcish Bowmaster, Chalice of the Void, a really big problem for Shadow. It's going to shut off, of course, the Shadow. We see the Stalactite Stalker thrown into the bin. Brainstorm, Ponder. It is incredibly good to the point where it was a great innovation with this deck a while back. I think it was Throne of Geth, a colorless artifact that allows you to proliferate. That would bump the Chalice from 1 up to 2, which would stop further Chalices and some other cards in Chalice decks at times. At this point, a lot of Chalice decks, curve kind of starts at 3 mana outside of the Chalice at 1 play. Here we see one of those 3 drops, Archon of Emeria. That is going to really just put a halt to Orcish Bowmaster. Can't really attack into this body. But Steve's down for a race. He's got a... Okay, the life totals have been updated. I am on board with this decision now. We've also got a Simian Spirit Guide, which is just massive in this situation. A 2/2 body hulking over this 1/1 Orcish Bowboy. Not want to tangle with the ape. Orc army may be able to get to do that if Andrew can somehow have Steve drawing an extra card. I mean, I don't even know how that's going to happen. Realistically, this is just a $60 raise the alarm. Got a double block, trading with a Simian Spirit Guide. Very little life left. It's going to really need to be Murktide. Murktide would be the card, but going to discard. And now Murktide won't save him, as a single blocker simply won't do. We're on to the next one. Boros beating down with 2 power creatures for 3, showing the power of Chalice there in game 1. Have the play. Leads out with a Ponder. Would have loved to have got down a threat on that first turn prior to Chalice. Chalice, a very different card. Gets down a Delver or a Stalactite Stalker. Tomb. And he's got a Chrome Mox. I thought it was a Chalice. Nope. Just jamming a Chalice with Daze mana available. Printing that Caves of Chaos Adventurer just in case Daze is on the other side of the table. Now we have a Grief. Shows 2 initiative creatures. Don't love that. Unless, of course, you have Reanimate. Then you're very, very happy with the situation. Only red mana available. Planes off the top. Unless there was a planes in the hand. Am I ignoring the planes in the hand? Let me know. Archon. Again, slowing things down. Fatal Push clears it. Stalactite Stalker. It's a really interesting printing. At the beginning of the end step, it gets the counter, so it's not tricky. Would make the card more fun. Certainly way more powerful. Because of that, it's only going to trigger once per turn, beginning of your end step. Seasoned Dungeoneer, however, has shown up, taken the initiative. Menace can take it back. A Ponder. Protection from creatures until end of turn. Just unfortunate. Trying to stabilize. Gets to search for a basic. See if this Seasoned Dungeoneer is enough to win the game on its own. Four mana play here. What do we got? Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Going further into the Undercity. Adding some counters. And opting to go for the trample of Caves of Chaos Adventurer. We got a double block. Seasoned Dungeoneer goes down. Fatal Push clears the entire board. That initiative continues ticking. 5 damage from the trap. Or I think it's 5 life loss. I'm actually not sure. Let me comments. Target player loses 5 life. Blue Blast stops Reflection of Kiki Jiki, but again, even though the board is neutral, Steve has the initiative and it's continuing to further his game plan. He's going to take a look, see what he can find. We got Archon, we got Solitude. Settle on Archon, but that is a 2-turn clock. Solitude, one of those ridiculous come from behind cards where even if Andrew was ahead with, say, a Murktide, the game would have completely spun on its head. Sends. Gonna need something here, despite Chalice not being on board. That's a wrap. No answer coming off the top of his deck, and Archon takes out Andrew. Despite just fighting valiantly, keeping everything off the board, the initiative just eventually drowning him.